Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Today we are having a look at a recently released flashlight from Olight. This is the Perun 3 Mini. Now I sometimes might say Perun Mini 3. I keep getting it mixed up. I've been struggling with it all day, but it is officially the Olight Perun 3 Mini. Let's just double check. Yes, it is. Of course it is. I knew it was. I didn't have to say that bit. I have to check it. Yeah. Anyway, so quite a lot to look at this. It's an awesome little light with some extra options with this. So let's take a closer look. So just a quick look around the box of the Perun 3 Mini Premium. I believe it's a premium mainly because it comes with the wireless charging kind of dock for this. But there is just kind of the non-premium version. So if you just wanted to pick up the light itself, then you can just pick up the light itself. So yeah, I'm just going to put that down for a second. So yeah, maximum output of 1250 lumens, maximum of 5 charges, which we will have a look at. Now on the inside you get the light and the charge bit that fits into here, and then behind here you've got a box of the extra bits. So it does come with a USB-C cable. Now that's a USB-C cable rather than the magnetic charging cable that you do get with a lot of Olight's other products. Mainly because this will charge through USB-C here on the front. If you do have some of their other magnetic charging cables, then you can still use that. They will still fit on the bottom here, but you do just get it with a USB-C cable. Now one of the other things that you do get in that box, which I've had out mainly because when I was making my shed the other day, I was in my shed and I was like, oh damn, now that I've got the roof on I can't see what I'm doing because it's very dark in here. It does come with one of these head straps, which is actually really nice and super useful in a pinch when you're like, oh yeah, that's actually really useful. So the way that this clips on is, if I just take out the light from here from a second, hopefully you'll see that you've got this little recess in here, and then you've got a little garage that it fits into. So with the clip here, this is the bit that fits into this recess. It just kind of fits into there, and then you push down on the back here and the back clips on. Big enough that you can pretty much fit any head into this. I've got a massive noggin and my head fits in here still with a couple of inches here left on the end. And you don't need to have to really worry about being able to adjust this kind of up and down. It's held on by the actual clip itself. If you were to pull this off, the clip would stay in there and the light would detach from the clip. So the clip itself rotates. It's the way that the clip is designed on here. So if you want this to look down a little bit to whatever it is that you're looking at, or if you need to kind of tip it up, then you can do that and it will fit in both ways. It is kind of ambidextrous. You can put it on that way or you can put it on that way, so whether you want the button on this side or whether you want the button on this side, you know, you just move the head strap. There isn't one of those ones that goes over the top of here. It's just a strap that goes around your head, so it'll fit either way. And then to release this, there's a handy little button here on the side which releases a latch in here. But yeah, so it just, as I say, just kind of clips on and clips off. I quite like this, and yeah, I'm glad that I got this so that I could use it at the weekend. Okay, let's have a look around the light, how this fits into here. So this is very similar to the Baton 4. Here we have the Baton 4 and its little wireless charger. So very similar to both of these. In fact, just to prove how similar and how identical these are, I can take them out and I can swap them over, and if I press the button on there, you can see it says how much charge there is. So they are the same. They just they've worked it in such a way so that you can put both of these lights into here. The way that this works is, one, it acts as so that you can charge this USB-C into the front here and it will just charge it for you. This LED, this display on the front here, one, tells you how much charge there is in it, but two, also kind of works so that if you have this open and you press this, you can use the battery that's in here and still be able to turn the light on, just in case, I know, maybe you're sat somewhere and you're reading in a tent, you want to get as much life out of it, then you can use the battery that's in here as well. Now there is a battery in this which we will have a look at in a second, but there is also an additional battery in here. I'm guessing it's probably going to be an 18650 battery. It doesn't quite say on the bottom, but so you have the battery in here, and then you also have an additional 5000 milliamp hour battery in this. So if you didn't want to charge this and you just wanted to recharge this, all you'd have to do if this was empty is put it in here and it would charge your Perun 3 Mini from the battery that's in here. So where that mentions that you get up to 5 charges in here is you can recharge this 5 times without you having to charge this whole thing. Now if you do need to charge it, you put your USB-C into the front here. It will charge you 5000 milliamp hours that are in the back here, and it will also charge the battery that is in your Perun Mini 3 as well. If you have a Perun Mini 2 or Perun 2 Mini, I keep saying Perun Mini 3 or Perun 2 Mini. I get the Mini in the, anyway, hopefully you know what I mean, but this will fit into here as well. So this is the Perun 2 Mini, and this is Perun 3 Mini, so we will have a look at the differences between the two in a second. But yeah, so that's the actual little charger bit. Now as far as the size of this is concerned, it comes in at 88mm by 65mm by 32mm. Now if you can compare that to the Perun 3 Mini itself, it's kind of just over twice the size. You can see you can kind of get both of two of these in here. The actual light itself comes in at 64mm by 22mm. It really is tiny. When it's in your hand, it's great. You kind of give it a little bit of a two finger between your fingers and your thumb, and then you can use the button that activates it here on the top. So being able to point this wherever you need to, it's brilliant. The beauty of this as well is because it's so small and it's so light, you can just clip this onto something if it is that you're out backpacking and you want to have a very minimalist light, so you can connect it to you whilst you're walking at night. It just clips on and it just kind of disappears. It comes in at 54 grams, by the way. It's very, very, very light. That comes down to a lot of the construction with this. So it's constructed from your very typical tough aerospace aluminium. The battery within here, so I mentioned the actual charging dock itself has got a 5000 milliamp hour battery in here. Now when you try and take this battery out, it feels like it won't come out, and it did it easily that time, but because there is a magnetic end on here, which is great, you can clip this onto things and it will hold its own weight, but when you try to get it out, you have to give it a bit of a shake for it to come out because it does magnetize in here. So on the inside it has one of Olight's 16340 batteries. Now when I say Olight, that is one of their own proprietary batteries, unfortunately, so you just have to make sure, especially with Olight's, that if you need to get another battery, if you need to hot swap this out, which hopefully you shouldn't need to do because it's easy to be able to charge this on the go, it is one of their proprietary batteries, and this is 650 milliamp hours. So that slides in. There is an O-ring. You get an extra O-ring with this as well, just in case it does get damaged. But you screw that on, and there you go. I've just pinched the O-ring. Let's do that again. So now we're in because I pushed it in an angle. So there you go. So we're in. Along the shaft you get some of this knurling on here, just in case, as I mentioned, because it is so small. I keep a finger underneath here like I hold my mobile phone, pinch two on the side, and then I've got my finger free on the top, so it's good just to give it a bit of a grip here. The actual head unit, which is where the LED is stored on here. Now the LED on here, there are a few LEDs. You have a white light LED, and then there are two red light LEDs, which again we will have a look at in a second. But on the back you have these channels on here, which are used there as a heat sink to help to draw away some of the light on here. As I mentioned, magnetic end. The magnetic end works really well. If you do need to attach this to something, then you can do, and it will easily hold its own weight. But also, if you have some of the magnetic charging units, you can click those on there, and you can charge this by itself rather than having to keep putting back into the charging dock. The UI is all dealt with through the button here at the top, and it is a very tried and tested UI for Olight. It's a single click for on, a single click for off, and then when it's on, then you do long presses to be able to change between the different modes. Whilst it's off, if I do a long press whilst off, you might not be able to see this shine against my hand, but it does put it onto the moonlight mode, which is just 2 lumens. If I then do a long press, you've then got low, which is 10 lumens, a long press to medium, which is 100 lumens, and a long press to high, which is 500 lumens. Whilst it's on, a little fly there, whilst it's on, if I do a double press, it'll then bump it up to its max output, which is 1250 lumens, which is great. Now I did mention, so there are some other LEDs in here. Oh, actually, on the on side here, hopefully you're able to see. So it is a TIR reflector lens in there to make sure that it spreads the light out. We will have a look at this in the dark. It has a reasonably pronounced warm spot, but the TIR lens on this is designed to make sure that it works more as a floodlight rather than a spotlight. But as mentioned, so there are 2. So you'll see that you have the main LED, which is a domed LED in the middle there, and then above and below there are some red light, some red LEDs. So whilst it's off, if I do a double press whilst off, it will put it into its red light mode. Now this has got 2 settings. So when you put it on by default, it's on its low setting, which is just 5 lumens. But if you do a double press, a long press. I'm on double press mad here a second. When you do a long press, that red light will turn up to 45 lumens, which does give you a bigger spread if you're walking through the woods at night. Whereas you then do a long press, again the third mode on this puts it onto an SOS strobe like this. Do a long press again and it will put it back down to its low setting, which is your 5 lumens. 5 lumens is great if you need to check a map, or if you're in an area, if you're in a tent where it is pitch black. 5 lumens does good at, bringing that light in there. But again, if you're walking around the woods and you want to see a little bit further in front of you, your long press will take you up to its higher mode. That's one of the main differences between the Perun 2 Mini and the Perun 3 Mini. With the Perun 2, so if I put this onto its red light mode, so we're now onto the red light mode, it's just got that one mode. If I do a long press, it then puts it onto its SOS mode, but then if I do another long press, it just puts it down onto its higher mode. Whereas with the Perun 3 Mini, as I mentioned, you've got on that red light, then you can go through the different ones, whether you want it on low or high, and then you've got your SOS mode as well. There's also some differences ever so slightly in the maximum lumen levels that you can get with each of them, but pound for pound, they are both very similar lights. And when you stack them next to each other, as far as the dimensions and the builds, they're very similar as well. That makes sense as well, mainly because if I put this in here, the Perun 2 Mini fits in perfectly, and so does the Perun 3 Mini into there as well. Now, as I mentioned, I keep talking about these working at night. Let's fast forward, get down to the fishing lake and have a look at how these perform. So the sun has definitely gone down. It's just turned midnight. We're down by the fishing lake and we'll go through the different modes. So a long press from off, we'll put this onto the moonlight mode, which is 2 lumens, which, in the dark does a very good job. But what I would say is, at this moment in time, it's a reasonably light night. If you're in a room that's pitch black, 2 lumens on ultra low does a very good job of being able to see. So at the moment, the end of this little jetty there's 2 meters away. Off onto the path there, I can see at least 3 or 4 meters ahead of me, no issues whatsoever. Now if I do a long press, this will jump it up onto low. So low jumps from 2 lumens up to 10 lumens. Now if we can just see, hopefully you can just see a tree over there, maybe another one next to it, but the trees off on the other side of the lake are difficult to see. But even still, 10 lumens, looking back at the same jetty that we were looking at before, you can see an awful lot more detail on there. Another long press jumps from 10 lumens up to 100 lumens on medium, and you can see a lot more light now. I'm just going to hold this out in front of me, as I usually do, so we look at the warm spot. You can you can't see it. The TIR lens does a good job of being able to spread that out though. If I turn this 45 degrees to the left and back, 45 degrees to the right and back, the spill, the area around the actual spill itself isn't particularly defined, but again, that's the job of the TIR lens in this, and that's the medium mode of 100 lumens. Another long press takes us up to high, and this is 500 lumens. Now, there's that tree that we looked at before. So much. Oh, and there's a bat that's just flown past as well. So much easier to see. You can even see the reflections of the water, ripples in the water going up to it. So the difficulty that we had on the opposite side of the lake before with 500 lumens does a very good job. Even looking up into the canopy here, you can see that there. You can even see the little fish. Oh, is that a duck? I think that might be a duck. There's two ducks there. Probably annoyed them. But yeah, so that's the 500 lumens. Now just over there, there's an ornamental waterfall, which again, a lot easier to see. Now at any point, let's just, I don't know, let's put this back down onto the low mode. At any point you can do a double press, and that will give you your full 1250 lumens. Oh, the duck's now moving. I probably have annoyed them. Sorry about that, Mr. and Mrs. Duck. But yeah, oh, and there's that bat again. But yeah, it does a very good job. Another long press. Oh, I will take you back to whatever mode it was that you were on before. Now there was some extra modes on this, and that was the red light mode. So now that it's off, if I do a double press, we're on the red light mode, and this is the low version. Again, you know, I can easily see 3 or 4 meters ahead of me, but if I do need more light, then I can do a long press, and that will turn it up to high, which is now a lot easier to be able to see down there. The camera does struggle with focus, and you can just see that tree on the opposite side as well. But here, this little jetty, yeah, does an awesome job. Turn that back off, put it back on, onto the white light again, and yeah, so there you go, there's the modes. So there you have it. For a small little like this, it packs a lot of punch, and I like the extra features that you get with this. One, you get the additional charging box, which is good. Personally, when I carry this, I just carry it like this, just in case you're wondering. Do you always carry this in your pocket? No, I don't always carry this in my pocket. I'll have this in my bag, or I'll have this on my desk, generally, which is where I keep this. So while I'm out and about, I don't take this with me. I just take, you know, I've generally got, like usual, I've got my knife, I've got my wallet, and then I just take this out. That way when I get back home, I just put it into there and it just charges itself. I don't have to worry about it. But then when I need to, I've got it in there. But yeah, it's great that it comes with this. The real kind of big winner this weekend, as I mentioned, making my shed, was the headband. Just putting this on, banging it in and screwing all the things I needed to screw. I'm sure that's what she said somewhere. Yeah, super useful. Now, full disclosure, I did leave it in the notes at the beginning, so this was sent to me from Olight. I have an awesome relationship with Olight, and as always, like I get with a lot of the manufacturers that I work with, generally all they want is just some good, honest feedback or good, honest content on their lights, and hopefully that's what I've provided for you all today, with a smidgen of entertainment as well. Now, these are recently released, so I believe they're live today. So there are some links below if you want to pick up one of these. If you choose to use one of my links, it does give me a small kickback, which just helps the channels. If you hate me but you liked the content, find somebody else's channel, click on one of their links, and you'll be able to give them a little kickback instead. You know, we're all part of the same kind of EDC community, although I'm not sure why you'd hate me, but anyway. So yes, I'll leave those links below, and again, a huge thank you to Olight for sending this my way. I'll also leave some of my social media links below, so that you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC, and also my sister channel. I have a second channel called Moorlander Tactical, where we look at tactical stuff. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. There's a dog barking. Fuck's sake! It put me off. I've got a pen in my pocket. That's from another piece of content. I don't know if you've seen that yet. If you have seen it, and then you've just seen this, and you're wondering why this is in my pocket, that's why. That was in the bloopers on another piece of content. I don't know why I touched that against my nipple there. That was weird. This isn't coming out on one of the normal days. I usually post on a Wednesday or a Sunday, don't I? This is coming out on the day, because this comes out on the day that it's been released. So you may have just seen me the day before, or you may see me again tomorrow on a different piece of content. But I think when this comes out, I'm away on holiday, because I'm doing lots of stuff in advance. Me, myself, Mrs. Moorlander, and the 2 Moorlander replacements. Going down to St. Ives for a week. Should be lovely, lovely. The people of the Kingdom, the Moorlands, and the people of the Kingdom of Cornwall are intrinsically linked, and we've always had excellent diplomatic relationships. So yeah, going down to Cornwall for a week, which should be nice. Yeah, so there you go. That was meant to be a thumbs up, but it turned out to be a Perun 3 mini up. I'll see you in a bit. You still here?